So, today our topic is income tax, clubbing of income, clubbing of income. Now, what do we mean by clubbing of income? Say, Mr. A, Mrs. A. Mr. A income is 6 lakh. Mrs. A income is 2 lakh. Mrs. A income, say, fully or partly added here, say. So, we are saying income of Mr. A is 8 lakh. This is known as clubbing. Now, question is when this type of things are attracted, whether only spouse is covered or other relations are also covered. So, our topic clubbing is in this respect. Again, clubbing of income, it means first determine income, then add. So, income is to be clubbed.
Yes.
Now, when clubbing attracted, when clubbing not attracted. So, now we are covering one by one. Okay? I think very clear. So, section 62, 65, section 602, section 65. Okay. First we are in brief, then again we will go into detail. So, what is written in section 62, 65? First covering the section, again we will go into detail. So, section 60, I am writing the word in brief. Now, transfer of income without transfer of asset. Transfer of income without transfer of asset. Now, situation. Mr. A having house 1, house 2, house 1, house 2. House 2 income transferred to brother B. A is owner of the house. A is said to be that income of this house will be yours, but the ownership is of A. What will happen?
Clubbing.
Clubbing is attracted. Clubbing is attracted. So, that is transfer of income without transfer of asset. What will happen? Brother B income from HP. Income from HP will be clubbed, with income of Mr. A. Okay. Income of Mr. A. This is clear? So, transfer of income without transfer of asset. What will happen? Clubbing attracted. Clear? Now, section 60 is very risky. Section 60 is, it has no boundary, just like no relation, nothing, anything, very risky. If asset belongs to you and income is of other, clubbing is attracted, very risky section. So, transfer of income without transfer of asset, clear? But important is, what is clubbed? Income is clubbed. Okay? Section 61. Revocable transfer. Revocable transfer. Now, what do we mean by revocable transfer? A is saying to B, I am transferring the asset also to you, but whenever I think I will take it back. Is a revocable transfer? Yes. A said to B, I am transferring, but you can't do anything in your own. You have to do anything with my permission.
Transferring the title, but rights proper rights.
Conditions imposed. It means power retained. Power retained. Okay? So, again, asset transferred, but you are saying to whom I will nominate, you have to transfer it.
And any kind of condition.
Price finalization will be in my hand. Clear? So, whatever way retaining the rights will fall under revocable transfer. Section 62. Exception to revocable transfer. This meaning is, we will do revocable transfer, we will do, and clubbing not attracted. It means it becomes part of tax planning also. Okay? Now, number of times tax planning is good, sometimes it becomes risky also. इसको कैसे समझना है हम लोग को? Number of times, suppose person is having fear of search and seizure, this, that. Okay, That time what they do, number of persons means big bags full of currency given to servant, go. Servant gone, never coming back. 100% टैक्स, जितना दिया सब लेके चला गया. Okay, never came back. So this is not tax planning. Okay. So, but if you move in a proper way, you will always be in safe side. And always keep in mind, department catches by document, document to document. Okay, court case, filing, action against you, document is behind you and it is your mistake only. It is your mistake only. Okay. Now, exception to revocable transfer is two. One is asset transfer for more than 6 years, more than 6 years prior to Income Tax Act 1961. So, practically this is not possible now. So, only old cases before 1961, those who have already done, covered, for them only. So, now this tax planning you can't do. Already prior to 1961, if covered any, means no clubbing attracted. Second exception is lifetime consideration. It means you have transferred the asset with the condition that till the transferee is alive, I will not take it back. Means consideration is lifetime. Clear? So, lifetime consideration. So, in this A is more than 6 years prior to Income Tax Act 1961. Again, hint. Nowadays we know Companies Act 2013, but prior to 2013 was there or not? 1956. So, everything was there. Suppose we talk about company 1956, but if you go to Tata Steel, Tisco and these all, they are more than 150 years old. So, it was always there. Even Indian contract is 1872. Actually, after independence, we are aware. Prior to that, our dependency was on English law. British law. Nothing to do. So, their law passed, we used to. We have started. So, again, exception to revocable transfer. A is more than 6 years prior to Income Tax Act, and B lifetime consideration. Lifetime consideration. Clear? So, this is now. So, here what you can do, suppose age is 65 years, 70 years, and you are expecting this person life is more 5, 6, 8 or 10 years, may transfer 10 years you can enjoy. Okay? But if something goes wrong, wrong means instead of transferee, transferor gone. Okay? Or your target was that transferee will expire, but instead his age increased. Maybe you are not in a position to do anything. Anyway, means these are some risk, but again where family bonding is strong, there this type of things happening, where family bonding is strong. Okay? And every means all types, all variety, everything we have in our practical life. Okay? So, exception to revocable transfer, lifetime consideration. Okay? Section 63. Meaning of revocable transfer. Meaning of revocable transfer. Okay. So, this already we have discussed. Anyhow, retaining the rights will fall under revocable transfer. I think clear. Okay. So, meaning of revocable transfer. Section 64 1 direct to okay. Remuneration of spouse. Now, if spouse is working in the same concern and one of the spouse having substantial interest, more than 20% voting power, directorship, okay, it will be assumed that this job is due to influence. This job is due to, so whatever income of the spouse, spouse means both side, X, Mrs. X, Mrs. X, X, both side will be clubbed, will be clubbed. Clubbed rule is whose income is high will be clubbed. What is clubbed? From same source, everything is not clubbed. Suppose remuneration, then remuneration only clubbed. It is not that bank interest also clubbed, any personal income also clubbed. No. Wherever scope is there, okay, only that portion is clubbed. Okay. So, here important is, here clear cut relation is specified. So, this rule will be applicable only if there is relation of spouse. If relation of spouse is not there, clubbing provisions not attracted. Clubbing provisions not attracted. Okay. Next, 64(1)(4) income from assets transferred to spouse for inadequate consideration. Inadequate consideration. ठीक है. So, income from assets transferred to spouse for inadequate Okay. So, income from asset transferred to spouse for inadequate. This meaning is 5 lakh rupees property transferred at 2 lakh, inadequate. Free given, it is gift. Earlier we were having gift tax act, now gift tax abolished. What will happen if it is a case of gift? It is a case of. So, here one has to take care. One has to take care because once gift, section 56 is attracted under income from other sources, but payment to relative is not covered. When payment to relative is not covered under gift, means taxability, then clubbing provisions are interesting, may attract. So, one has to take care that what is happening to the income, what is happening to the income, and instrument one has to take proper care how it is drafted. Okay. So, 64(1)(4) income from asset transferred to spouse for inadequate consideration. Here now see, one case law was in the case of Phillips John Plaskett Thomas. What happened? Asset transferred to fiancé for inadequate consideration before marriage, and later on marriage took place. Department court saying section 64(1)(4) applicable, but decision was in favor of SEC that when asset was transferred, relationship of spouse was not there. Hence, no clubbing provisions attracted. For clubbing provisions, it is must that relation of spouse should exist at the time of transfer and at the time of income. Clear? This was decided in the case of Phillips John Plaskett Thomas. Okay? Again, section 64(1)(6). Income from assets transferred to son's wife for inadequate consideration. So, son's wife for inadequate consideration. Okay. So, son's wife in place of spouse, what used? Again relation. Son's, it means father-in-law, mother-in-law. So, only father-in-law to son's wife, mother-in-law to son's wife. Clubbing attracted. So, relation specified. If father to son, clubbing not attracted. Father to son, clubbing not attracted. Son to father, again not attracted. But only we have to check section. So, there they may have the concept of intention. This is very risky section. Okay. So, again section 64(1)(7). Now, income from assets transferred to other person or association of person for immediate or deferred benefit of spouse. Deferred benefit of spouse. This meaning is, you are saying, okay, direct is a problem, I'll transfer to some other person, that person or AOP will give the money back to spouse. Okay. Okay. So, given to third party, but third party is giving the money to spouse. Immediate means regular, one is no accumulate, later on you give, meaning is same, clubbing is attracted. Section 64(1)(8). Everything is same, only immediate or deferred benefit of son's wife. This is spouse. This is spouse. And in place of spouse, now coming son's wife. So, what we see? Relations clear cut defined.
Yes.
Okay. And in this regard, 31st May 1973,
मतलब?
this meaning is, the way this is 1961,
Okay.
this provision came from this date. What happening? People started doing this, giving to third, now give, and all are under control, and clubbing provisions were avoided. Now, one restriction. Okay. Clear? So, these are one provision, section 62-64(1)(8). So, 60 is transfer of income without transfer of asset. 61 revocable. 62 exception to revocable transfer. 63 meaning of revocable transfer. Then 64(1) is not there, 1 is not there, 2 is there, remuneration of spouse. 64(1)(3) is not there, 4 is there, that is income from asset transfer to spouse for inadequate consideration. 5 not there, 6 is there, son's wife. Then 7, 8 other party, benefit to spouse, son's wife. Clear? Okay. This one doing out. Now, what is clubbed is income.
Yes.
Income on income is not clubbed.
Income.
Suppose 5 lakh rupees FD free of cost, interest 50,000 clubbed. This 50 again other person has done FD. Again interest on 5 lakh plus 50. 5 lakh will be clubbed, 50 will not be clubbed. Income on income is not clubbed.
Yes, yes.
Income is clubbed.
Correct.
Means in this way. Income is clubbed, income on income is not clubbed. Clear? Okay. Again, 64 1A. 64, that is income of minor child. Okay. Income of minor child is clubbed in the hands of parent whose income is
Higher.
higher.
So exemption भी तो है उसमें.
If minor child is handicapped, then clubbing not attracted. Mental retardation, clubbing not attracted. Blind, clubbing not attracted. Okay.
Special children clubbing not.
Then if minor child is having income by labor, clubbing not attracted. Okay. Labor clubbing not attracted. Talent clubbing not attracted. Child artists, cinema artists, singer, actors, child acting, clubbing not attracted. I think very clear. Okay. So, income of minor child first is clubbed. When not clubbed? By personal efficiency or handicapped. If income is clubbed, if clubbed, deduction, better we say exemption, under section 1032. 1032 at the rate rupees 1500 per child or actual income clubbed per child, whichever is less. Whichever is less. Okay. Okay. Again, so exemption under section 1032. Suppose clubbing is 1000, then exemption is 1000 only. Clubbing is 5000, exemption is 1500. This is per child. Any restriction? No restriction. Answer is no.
अच्छा.
No restriction.
2 children.
No restriction. Restriction you have in travel concession and this all, not with clubbing. Okay.
That is tuition fees में जो यहाँ correct.
Clear? Then is 64 2. 64 2. So asset or income from assets transferred to HUF for inadequate consideration. Okay. This point is clear. So, income from asset transferred to HUF for inadequate. Now, important. Also, we use the word converted balance, this type of thing. See here, huge tax planning we can do with the help of HUF. HUF is itself a full-fledged topic. Okay. Today we will discuss some. So, HUF A, Mrs. A, son 1, son 2, daughter 1. Son 1, son 2, daughter 1. Okay. Now, suppose, so in this HUF, how many co-partners? 5.
अच्छा, members, हाँ, members.
5 co-partners. Okay. Who is Karta? A. A is Karta. Okay. See, S1 transfers 5 lakhs rupees to HUF. ₹5 to HUF. Okay. What HUF is doing? Say FD done, 5 lakh. Income how much? 50,000. Say 10%. So S1 has transferred for inadequate consideration. Income will be clubbed in the hands of the transferor. In the hands of the
Transferor.
clear? Okay. Now suppose if HUF transfers out of this money, transferred money,
Means 5 lakhs.
to co-partner, say 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, own taken 50,000 and Mrs. S1 possible, also given 50,000. Out of this 5 lakh transferred 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, own 50, 50 possible, 5 lakh.
111. हाँ, ठीक है.
Own money, own received nothing,
10-2 will be exempted, na?
receipt from HUF.
हाँ.
But this one, this will come under 10(2). Okay, exempt. Any money received from the HUF is exempt. But this money received by the spouse, received by the of the transferor, any income therefrom, suppose this 50,000 deposited and interest income is 5,000. Interest income 50,000 deposited and interest income
Someone transfer the asset to
5,000.
Mrs. S1. S1
Huh.
transfer the amount to Mrs. S1. Okay.
Not direct from here, but this money is out of this only, Mrs. Then any income from this received by the spouse will be clubbed under section 64(2) in the hands of the transferor
Means S1.
S1. Clear? Everyone? It's clear?
Yes. Suppose अगर कुछ दूसरा करता है मतलब
No problem na. This side is S2, this side S1 misses S1, no problem. S2 no problem. Suppose this side misses S2, no problem. But transferor spouse, then clubbing is attracted. Here think practically, here they will transfer 5 lakh, again given to spouse, 5 lakh, possible?
yes.
And saying receipt from HUF. They are saying no, it is a case of spouse only. But if you are giving to others, scope is there. So here one can do tax planning.
Others means
S2, S1 given to HUF, now HUF to S2. Full tax planning possible. So here we have some scope. But question is whether will give or not. This side is high risk, that is why this relation is covered. I think got it. Okay. Everyone
yes.
clear? So section 64(2), income from asset transfer to HUF for inadequate consideration. Okay.
Now, sir, suppose 50,000 HUF transferred to Mrs. S2. 50,000.
Again, S1 transferred to Mrs. S2. So here that the question is whether falling under relative.
Yes.
Gift will check. Okay. We will check the gift part.
And that will fall under others.
56 relative not taxable. But genuinity, that is to be taken care of, because section 60, but here asset also giving, so that is why 60 also not attracted. 60 also, because in 60 they are saying transfer of income without transfer of asset. You are giving asset also, gift also, no, not attracted. Okay. As I said, where family bond is strong, huge tax planning is done. Huge tax planning is done. I mean, easily they can manage. If 5-10 family is strong relation, no question answer. Sign means sign. They manage crores of rupees easily. But where problems are there, lakhs also problem. Clear? I think it's okay.
Yes.
Then section 65. Recovery of tax on account of clubbing. On account of clubbing. Clear? On account of clubbing. So, recovery of tax on account of clubbing, meaning clubbing done, Mrs. X added in X, X tax liability increased. Who will pay tax? X. X saying no money. Can they recover from Mrs. X? Yes. Answer is
तो फिर से वो-
Mrs. X income clubbed with X. X tax liability goes up. Who will pay tax? X.
हम्म,
X saying money is not there.
हाँ,
Can department recover from Mrs. X? Answer is yes. That is section 65. Okay? Now, say shares given for inadequate consideration. Possible?
yes,
Any income clubbed? But shares, bonus shares, that is not clubbed. That is not clubbed. So, in this regard, number of points are there, tax planning is also there. Okay. So, more points are there, but after solving some question, you will be in a better position. So, what you do, say clubbing, how to write down the answer, main point is in exam how to write down the answer to score high. So, number 1, answer 1, question number 1 is a HUF consists of X karta Mrs. X minor child, June 13, 17 X karta of HUF set apart rupees 1 lakh out of the family fund for the maintenance of his wife. Mrs. X deposits the money in a bank. Discuss whether interest income will be clubbed with the income of HUF or X or for the assessment year 18-19. So, what you do? First you try to write down the answer in your own. Think this is of 4 marks. Okay.
so will be taxed in the hand of
लैंग्वेज क्या लिखे उसमें, माने 4 मार्क्स का है, क्या लिखने से नंबर देगा. सपोज एग्जाम में आ गया, कैसे लिखना होगा आंसर. डिसीजन
so will be taxed.
will be taxed, will be taxed. तो पहला क्या हुआ, both answers are wrong. Let's see, write down.
Income from
No clubbing provisions attracted. No clubbing provisions attracted. The income will neither be clubbed in the hands of HUF or Mr. X. Because under section 10(2), any receipt from HUF is exempt from tax. Now, the income or the money received by Mrs. X is out of HUF fund and not out of transferred balance of Mr. X. Hence, section 6414 provisions not applicable. Not
So further this interest will not be taxable because income
so hence further whatever income of Mrs. X is taxable in the hands of Mrs. X itself. Mrs. X itself, not clubbing provisions. Okay? This point is clear. Section 64(2) not applicable because the money transferred to Mrs. X is not out of any transfer of Mr. X. Okay. So, it means proper tax planning. Proper tax planning. So, I think you got some idea. So, one answer was done. So, you can do some other answers also. Okay. So, task purpose 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4 and 5. ठीक है.